So how are you doing? Coming together okay here? Okay, we're going to start getting to the techniques now. So I want to talk a moment about what the merkaba star represents, the six-pointed star. This one is a little fancy, but in really thinking of a six-pointed star, it's basically two triangles that are actually placed together, the Star of David. And the Star of David is actually a sacred geometry that represents the balance between the masculine and feminine, otherwise known as unity consciousness. So these two triangles represent the masculine and feminine, and as well are a part of what's known as our own merkaba system. Our merkaba system, when we build it, is actually two counter-rotating spirals that actually come into a rotational spin of electron and proton, which is masculine and feminine energy. And as they spin in balance in perfect ratio, this is what our merkaba does. It's a part of our light body function. So we're going to be using, in the 12-dimensional shielding technique, the merkaba star. So I wanted you to understand why we're using this merkaba geometry, how we're going to be using it, and what its intention is, what the energy signature of the six-pointed star actually is. It represents unity consciousness, but in actuality, it is a geometry that is specific to the function of the correct merkaba spinning in the body, which is the exact ratio between the masculine and feminine energy. So as I was speaking of earlier, there are masculine energies, which is the electron. So when we know what the right side of our body is, the right side, no matter what we are in, whether we're a male or female, it is our masculine principle. It is the electric part of ourself, the electron, the transmission. The left side is our feminine and female side, and it is the proton or magnetic part of us. We are electromagnetic, and that is actually dualistic. So the electron and the proton have a charge. And that's what creates the illusion of polarity. When the electron and the proton come in balance with each other, unity field is created, and that is the neutron or trion field. And this is literally what the destiny of humankind is. We are healing our polarity, very much as Linda was talking to me about the right and the left brain hemispheres also represent the same thing. As we come into unity with the appropriate spin of these forces, it merges our masculine and feminine and our pairs of opposites all the way to our brain, because our brain as well represents a masculine and feminine principle. The interesting thing about it is it actually reverses at the back of our skull. And so actually the left side, the right side of the masculine is represented through the left brain, and the left side of the female is represented through the right side of our brain. But ultimately, we are here to merge our brain into one totality, which is also a part of the function of our ascension in coming into unity, is to come into the holistic use of our brain as a receiver. So here's our merkaba star. I want you to get a focus on that. We're going to be doing that technique, the 12-dimensional shield, and I want to explain to you what its purpose is and what it is before we actually run through this technique. So the 12-dimensional shield, the first stage of its purpose is to achieve a certain level of results. Number one is to fortify and strengthen your aura and to be able to boundary test discordant energies that are uninvited. It also helps to reconnect what's known as the oversoul matrix, or the 12th-dimensional blueprint to the body. Guardians, again, have described that the 12th-dimensional blueprint is a model to understand the first original crystal body in the blueprint structure of the spiritual bodies of the divine and human. It means prior to polarization, prior to miasm and debris and other things through the experiences of consciousness. We're connecting to the crystal body of the original divine blueprint and intention of which these bodies were created. Again, it re-imprints the body to physical sustainability and health, again, by helping to bring balance to the body. It allows communication links to be restored with spiritual forces and star families. which again I have personally noted. It's understanding we're going to be building a pillar, and it's very much like an elevator of consciousness. It allows you to move up through the elevator. It's like an elevator that opens into every dimension, understanding that this field that we are building is like an elevator that you're building, and you can go to each floor. And as you go through each floor, you're able to connect with each level and plane of existence, and understanding that's literally what your chakras are. They are an optic lens that allow you to connect to that dimensional plane of existence and the beings that also reside, the levels of intelligence that reside there. And when you're in your 12D shield, basically from the guardian standpoint, the 12D shield is the only force that the negatives do not have to distort. This is why they tell us this is the strongest vibration that we are able to connect to on this planet at this time, because the 12th dimensional shield has all of the harmonics that exist between dimensions 1 and 12 contained within it, and our controller friends only go up to the 11th dimension. They do not have access to this particular encodement. This shield and the color of it is actually platinum in color. So again, as we go through that, but just to help you understand why the harmonics of the 12th dimensional shield, why the guardians are saying this is the most important ray frequency for us to intend and begin to entrain our bodies to connect to, is it again allows us to begin a process of reawakening damaged DNA, and it starts to bring the memory back to ourselves, to reawaken to our true origin, including the decoding of light language and understanding or getting downloads of the hidden history of our race. Because again, we are entering a time where race memory is returning. When we understand, again, and interesting at this time, just in current events, mirroring that, a lot of activity happening at the foot of the Sphinx in the last few weeks. And understanding that this is the area that opens into the collective emotional body of the human race on this planet. Very interesting that the guardians are saying race memory, species memory is returning to our planet, and we have a tremendous amount of activity happening in the Giza, Egypt area, which happens to be the fourth dimensional stargate, astral plane, and collective emotional body of the human race. That means all of the memories that's ever happened to us. The reptilian invasion, the ET genetic hybridization, all of this is in the cells of the planet. It's starting to be returned, which means we're going to start to have access to the truth of our origins. And of course, that's going to be kind of difficult for science and the patriarchy to be able to rewrite the history books. So we have a lot of resistance with that right now. So a lot of unusual energies in the external field, but once you understand sort of the global construct and you know how to shield and connect yourself, again, you are the power of God within you. So after this has been practiced, we're going to do the core practice of the 12D shield, but it actually can turn into a spinning field. Once you are able to anchor it in your own body and you get entrained and practice to be able to hold this field, you then will see that you'll be able, with your inner vision, or you can try to practice it, from the still point, it will start to generate spirals, and you can spin fields in the environment. That means at your home, your residence, your space, place of work, you can create this field as a protective field around your home, around your children, around your place of residence, business, etc. And it becomes another tool that actually expands, but you first anchor it within you. You get very solid in that relationship with the 12D shield, and then it will actually expand, and you can utilize it to harmonize your environment. So this is a visual for the 12th dimensional shield. I don't know if it might be kind of challenging to see it, but let's go ahead, let's prepare. We're running through this process. Are you ready for that? Are you up for that? Does that feel good? Yes. Yes? So again, taking a nice deep breath. Bring your focus for a moment on your still point. The still point area is right here. This actually is the umbilicus that connects us into God consciousness. As we go through Ascension, we've had an umbilicus down here that has been recycling us in the astral plane. And this is a part of our light body. It actually connects us into our spiritual matrix bodies. It literally looks like an umbilicus in our aura. So as we're evolving, we're leaving this umbilicus right in between, about 2 inches beneath the navel. This umbilicus is literally what the near-death experience. When people are in that tube and they see that white light, it's coming from this umbilicus. That's the astral plane. We don't want to go to the astral plane again. We're going through Ascension this time around. So our umbilicus is going to be here. The still point is without obstruction. There is no intermediary, no membrane between myself and God Source. So the still point is where you will feel your core, your spirit, anchor your core. This is your core.
Could we have the lights back on?
You want the lights back on? Okay.
You need the lights back on? Am I in the dark?
You are.
Stand in front of the projector.
Yeah, well, right, yeah, exactly, right where that sternum is, right in between the ribcage, right here. So again, I just want you to be aware of your still point, because it's referenced a lot in the material that I'm speaking in meditations. Connect to your still point, connect to your still point, because the core of your being, when you're embodied in your spirit, the core is here. It's your still point. So again, we're going to just take a few deep breaths into the still point. Bring your awareness to this area. Again, now let's bring our awareness back into the center of our brain. So it's like take all of your consciousness, all your awareness, put it in the center of your brain where your sixth chakra, your third eye is. Again, it's best at this point to keep your eyes closed, because in the back of your brain, it's like seeing that six-pointed star merkaba on the screen of your brain, your inner brain. See that merkaba residing almost like in the windscreen as you're looking at from the inner vision, with your eyes closed and feeling that merkaba right in the center of your brain. And now as you look at your merkaba, make sure that that merkaba is platinum in color. See it as a silver platinum merkaba star in the center of your brain. And again, remember, there's no wrong way to do this. We're just going to go through this. You may even feel your own way as it comes through, but bring your merkaba star down your central vertical column through the center of your heart line. See it moving down, going past your tailbone, and releasing out from between your legs. You're going to send your merkaba star to something called the 12th dimensional hub. And so in the distance, in your inner vision, there is a vortex, very similar, another pillar of light, and it's a part of our earth plane. We're going to look at it as a visual. It's like on top of the grid of the earth, a 12th dimensional portal of platinum light. And as you see that vortex in the distance spinning, it's a spinning vortex of light, we're going to connect your merkaba star to it. So see your merkaba star moving away from you, like horizontally, going towards that vortex. And in the distance is a massive, humongous pillar of platinum spinning light. And as your merkaba comes in contact with the vortex of that platinum spinning light, intend to send your breath to this. What you're doing is you're imprinting your soul frequency with that vortex. And as your merkaba is connected to that field of that spinning vortex of platinum light, feel it as a container filling up with frequency. This merkaba represents your aura and energy field, and we're going to fill it up with 12th dimensional light. So as your merkaba is connected to that spinning vortex, almost like pouring a glass of water and filling that glass with water, fill your merkaba and feel. So you can start to sense this frequency. It is a cool, menthol kind of feeling. As that merkaba comes to an absolute, as much as it can hold, you're going to return it back to you. So again, connecting to your merkaba. Once it feels it has reached its capacity of holding that 12-dimensional frequency, you're going to start to bring it back towards you. See that merkaba coming back on a horizontal plane. It's coming back to you. You're going to utilize this symbol to open a chakra 12 inches beneath your feet. As your merkaba star returns back to you, take it to a position 12 inches beneath your feet. This is your 13th chakra. We're going to connect and open and activate this chakra. If it's not been opened now, we ask each of the guardians and guides for each individual person to assist in the opening of their 13th layer as in divine harmony, resonance, and perfection for them. So 12 inches beneath your feet. Feel your merkaba star merge with a chakra, 12, again, a foot, about 12 inches beneath your feet. And when that merge occurs, as the chakra activates, it will start to spin in counterclockwise motion. And as it spins, it will pop out and create a sphere of perfect cylindrical platinum light 12 inches beneath your feet. What you are doing is you are building your spiritual platform. This is a part of your spiritual house. Build that foundation well. See as that is spinning, that light is spinning and it's growing circular. About 4 foot in diameter as a solid platform of platinum light, 12 inches beneath your feet, with your merkaba spinning in the direct center and core of that shield. This is a shield. Now for a moment, sense that stability. Again, it's like a foundation, very much like pouring cement for the foundation of a house. This is protecting from underneath you. And now as you sense that shield, that cylindrical platform, about 4 foot in diameter underneath you, connect to your merkaba star, again at the center. And see that that merkaba star has an etheric cording that connects that umbilicus to your God source. And as that merkaba now is starting to release that 12-dimensional frequency and create and build a pillar. So as you take a nice breath in, feel the platinum light coming out of your merkaba from the center core of your shield, and allow this to build a pillar of light around you in an exact diameter, about 4 feet around. You're building a pillar around you from 12 inches beneath your feet to 3.5 feet or so above your head. This is the dimensions to remember, bringing your aura and containing your aura 12 inches beneath your feet, 3.5 feet above your head. So as you take breath in, feel the platinum light building from your feet, moving it up and encasing your entire body. You are standing inside this pillar. Allow this crystal hydroplasmic Christ light to fill every cell, every pore of your being, of your energy field. As you rise this energy, keep building it, strengthen it, fortify it as it's building up. And again, past your neck and shoulders, we're going to take this above your head now. See that shield and pillar, again about 4 foot in diameter, 2 inches on each side or so, moving up. to about 3.5 feet above your head. And again, let the frequency fill your physical body, your emotional body, mental body, and spiritual layers. Bring your aura inside your 12D shield. And as you have strengthened and built your pillar, bring your focus back to your merkaba star, still 12 inches beneath your feet in the center of your platform shield. You're going to bring this back up now. So again, focus your inner vision on your merkaba star in the center of your platform, 12 inches beneath your feet. As you inhale nicely, just see it moving up. We're going to bring the merkaba star up through your heart line, your central sushumna, bringing that up. See it moving up slowly, and moving up and through, and out the top of your head and crown. You're going to send your merkaba star to another chakra, 3.5 feet above your head, which is the 14th chakra. So as you send your merkaba star up, 3.5 feet above your head, very much like we did on the bottom, we're going to do the top. We're going to seal you in like a hermetic seal in your shield. We're going to build another platform. 14th chakra, merkaba star, merge with that 14th chakra. See it spinning counterclockwise. See another shield pop open in a cylindrical sphere of light. Also 3.5 feet above your head, and platinum. This is like your lid. And as you build your top shield platform, feel that platform seal in to the rest of your pillar. Literally, it feels like you're pressing in a hermetic seal. You have a complete shield and lid on the top of your pillar with your merkaba star still in the very center of that shield, 3.5 feet above your head. Now just for a moment, I want you to try to energetically impress, try to feel what that frequency feels like. We want to entrain the nervous system to unity intelligence, cosmic Christ consciousness, that which is a part of the infinite divine source, life force, and allow that life force and original connection to your divine blueprint self, your avatar self, to be able to connect to the layers of the body. And now this is called a multidimensional grounding. You have now built your shield. This is something that you can take with you at any moment in time of day. As you build this shield, it will become automatic after a period of time. Focusing on your merkaba star, 3.5 feet above your head in the center of your top shield, we're now going to ground you to the core of the universe. This is different than grounding to the core of the earth. We're going to ground and send out. You record from the top. See a pale silver cord of light emitting from the top shield, 3.5 feet above your head, and intend to send that out to the blue star in deep space, or out into the universal God core, into the core of the universe, to the core of the God breath, to that which is the living mind, the universal Trinity. So we connect and send our cord out to God itself. Now that you are inside your shield, you can program your shield to boundary test. One of the most powerful ways to program your shield is to say, I am God, I am sovereign, I am free. Your shield is fully connected to those three vibrations, and only that which is in alignment to the vibration of those words of the unity intelligence of the cosmic Christ are allowed to interface or connect with you. And as you come back into your body in presence, coming back into the still point of your core, bringing your awareness back to the still point, starting to feel your physical presence and your connection back into your body, fully in your core, and when you're ready to open your eyes, again, please do. Actually, we have some blue beings in the room. It looks like we have some Andromedans with us, which is very nice. The Andromedans happen to be a part of the blue energy signature that connects into the next universe. And certainly, it's nice to see their presence here.